Yo, what is up? This is DevineYGO, and we got my boy TopDeckHyun gonna be giving his deck profile on Pacific Rim that he took to the Tulsa April regional for Tulsa, Oklahoma. And what place did you get again?
I got 60th place. I wish I could have done a little better, but things how it is. And for a regional coming back for an old school player like me, I think I did phenomenal. So.
Yeah, you did pretty good. I mean, 60th place out of 360 something players. So
yeah. I got 6 wins, 3 losses, 9 rounds. Very, very long, arduous day. We did some work though. We did some work today. Yeah.
But all right, how about we just go ahead and get right into this profile?
All right.
Let's see here. Okay, so we took Earth Machines with a twist to the thing. We're playing 3 Machina gear frames. Very self-explanatory. These, when normal summoned, you can search the deck to get any Machina monster added to your hand. And we know how Machinas work. We just keep pitching and we keep summoning. Now, they are union monsters, but we rarely use that effect. Next, we have 1 Machina Unclasper. Now, this card, when added by Gear Frame over here, gets to, when it's added to hand, you can special summon it to the field. And whenever it is special or normal summoned, you get to Foolish Burial 1 Machina monster from your deck to your graveyard. We know machines, they want to be in the graveyard, they want to get their engine rolling, and you will always win the grind game with this.
So why is it at 1?
1? Well, I find that if you have just, you don't need, some people run 2, I like just running 1 just because of the fact that, you only need to do that effect once. Once you get going, you don't need to really... If you draw in your hand, yeah, but I rather have this for the normal summon. I don't want to see this in my hand. I want to get the search off of it. And I could just get the Foolish Burial effect off of this. You're good to go. You don't need to really, you don't really need to have another normal summon for this one. You can run 2 if you like, but 1 is the optimal number just because of everything else in here.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay. Next, we're going to get 2 Machina Metal Crunchers. Now, this deck is more focused on Machinas, so, running 2, you kind of want to see this hand, you kind of don't, but if you just get 1, you're good to go. This is dead in your hand if you have monsters on the field. You want to start with this, but after that, you're good. You don't really need it. This allows you to search out 3 Earth Machine monsters, and then you randomly choose, your opponent gets to randomly choose 1, and it gets added to your hand. Also, very good to toss away if you don't need it, for particularly this 2 monsters. This is the heart and soul of every Machina deck.
The OG Fortress.
OG Fortress. This is 2011's strongest boss monster in my personal opinion. Target this guy when he's on the field. You can rip a card out of people's hands. He gets destroyed. You get to destroy you get target 1 monster on the field or any card on the field and you get to destroy it. This works phenomenal under one of my favorite trap cards, although all my friends like to make fun of me for it. Our favorite skill drain. Next, we have 1 Citadel. As I played through, we used to run 2 Citadel in this profile, but if it's in your hand, it's a dead draw. Unless you have these 2 in particular, it's a dead draw. You do not want to see this in your hand. You want to be able to toss this thing via effect, or you want to start off with just 2 of these. So you can toss this, and these 2 have recursion, where if an Earth Machine is destroyed, he can be brought back out from the graveyard. And it's the best when you attack with this into a higher level monster. This gets destroyed. Oh, you take some life point damage. And then you destroy that monster. And his effect also changes. So you have to chain 1, chain 2. So he'll come out. He'll be able to attack also in the battle phase. If you want to clear the field, he also has a crazy effect where you can target 1 machine monster, including himself. And then you pretty much get to Raigeki their field anything lower than their attack. Now, the OG meta killer himself, Machina Rune Force. We are looking at this beautiful number right here, 46, because he can be brought out. Once he's in the graveyard, you just have to remove up to 12 stars for an effect monster, machine monster. So, you could be tossing him and him, and he gets brought out. This is an inherent summon, just like Machina Fortresses, so you cannot react to that either. In the battle phase, when you go to swing, if anyone activates anything, you can activate his utter effect where he can cut your life points in half, negate that effect, and your opponent will take half their life points. And at that point, it's pretty much game because this is a big boy. He's not going anywhere. Let's say in the off chance he does get destroyed, the 2 cards you remove, up to 12 stars, you can summon one. You can summon them out. A crazy combo with these 2 would be sending actually like him and maybe like you can do these 3, and you can summon all 3 out. But usually it's going to be just one big stick, big beat stick when you summon out. So it's just pretty much a recursion. And then we're running our typical train package stuff. Pretty much summon on any earth monster, gets brought out at half its attack, and then this is just a normal summon. But when it's normal summon, it's at 0 attack. The combo usually with this is go into your exceeds, you know, good big old trains, get the big boys out. These are both level 10, so you get good old rail cannon out. You could either swing into them and get a Zeus, or you can get into my all-time favorite Exceed monster, good old Juggernaut.
Oh, I hate this card.
This card is beautiful. Now, the added flavor text of this deck. Now, we are running 1, 2, and 3 Kaijus. These take care of every single problematic card on the field, because you'll be able to tribute them. We all know what Kaijus do. With this, we start going into our magic cards, which will be the 2 of the Kaijus. This is Dark Hole on steroids, pretty much. You are getting these 2 out. You get to clear the field, and you get to give him 1 weak monster, and you get to summon this one. If you, after you used it, on the next turn, there's a secondary effect where you can remove this from the graveyard. You can add this one to your hand. And this is just a free pitch for like Machina Fortress, or you can pretty much tribute another monster, run it over. It's really up to you, but this has too many good applications in this deck. So that's why I'm running this instead of like Dark Hole or Rugeki. This just clears the field for you. Oops, I forgot 1 train package. My bad, guys.
All good.
All good. You like to toss this one too. This guy likes to be tossed. He has 2 effects. You can either special summon him as a 3000 beat stick. He does have a negative effect where you have to send 2 cards away to attack with it, but under skill drain, just 3k beat stick. This plus these plus this and these 3. Let's go to your exceeds. He also has a graveyard effect where you can target one machine card in your graveyard and pretty much get it back to your hand. So you can just use recursion effect. What I like personally doing is pretty much grabbing this guy again, just getting rid of problem cards. It's a little fun combo. I only did it once at regionals, but the guy was very shocked because I got rid of his Kali Yuga, and he was very, 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 very upset about that. But he's really chill kid. Let's go into our actual magic. I showed you these 2, but 1, 2, 3.
Extrav.
You don't need your extra deck. You really do not need your extra deck to win with this deck. Your deck is these cards, not these. You don't need this to win. This is just extra flavor on the text. You just toss. You know what this does. You banish 3 or 6 cards, get 2 cards. This is just in case you get dead draw and whatnot. Just works. And we're running 3 obviously for, to see in your first hand. 3 Dark Rulers. I'm a very big person about going second. I want to see what you can make, and I want to dash your hopes and dreams away with this card.
Okay. So we bully into it. We bully in it.
A little bit of a bully. We have to be a little bit like that, just especially because it's regionals, and I'm a big fan about going mano, having actual turns to fight each other instead of setting up one board and saying, "Hey, good luck breaking it," or it's GG. Don't like doing that. Harpy Featherduster, obviously, just just clear back row. Eldritch players, anybody that has troublesome back row, not today. 2 Machina Redeployment. You want to see 1 in your hand with the Machina monster. You don't want to see 2. If you see 2 of these, you could pitch. The other one for the other one. Pretty much, this starts off your combo. This is one of your greatest combo starters in the deck. Machina. When you discard 1 card, you get 2 Machina monsters added to your hand. Unless you pitch a actual Machina monster using the secondary effect, then you can get Machina Overdrive and all the other Machina cards added to your hand. A good combo with this is pretty much tossing like Citadel or like Ruin Force into the graveyard, and then getting like Machina Overdrive and like a Machina monster on the field, so you can set that monster up, have that set, and on the next turn you can combo off with it and get another big beat stick on the field with another possible material for your Ruin Force in the graveyard.
Didn't Ben say that or recommend you playing 3?
He did. The thing is, it can only be activated once per turn, and my whole thing with this is that I'm extremely unlucky, and I'll get all 3 in my hand, and and knowing the type of person I am, if I run 3, I'm gonna see all 3 in my hand in one draw. Second off, you only want to see 1 in your hand. Having 2 is just because you can have an extra recursion in the deck, so you just keep grinding and keep sending stuff off. Not bad. Technically, if you do see these 2, you can like toss this, because technically it's a Machina card because it says Machina, and then you can use the effect and whatnot, but you're pretty much only resolving this like once. If you're really grinding it twice per duel, you don't need to really run 3.
Okay.
Yeah. Now let's go into the oppression is what I call it. 1, 2, and 3.
Ah, so the card that makes everyone hate you.
Yeah. I think I skunked a lot of games just because of the mere fact I have 3 of these. Konami, thank you, but at the same time, no. That ban list, we're gonna be abusing this card all the time. We don't know what this is. Take 1,000, everything's negated. Good luck.
This should never have come to 3. Never should have come to 3.
On top of that, we run 1, 2, and 3.
Ooh, evenly matched.
If you have something oppressive, the combo usually I see what happened at regionals was a lot of the time I ended up with Dark Ruler and this card. This card can be switched off for Raigeki, no problem, but I personally like this card because I like banishing stuff and I don't like having it reoccur your graveyard. If I break your board, good luck. We're playing the grind game from there. We're playing Unga Bunga Yu-Gi-Oh at that point. So the other setup is 1, 2, and 3. Like I said, we just want to get rid of stuff.
Okay.
All the time. You summon, oh, that was like, yeah, that was your 5th summon? Oh, it's Nibiru? No, it's Tribute. And the last Machina card, thing I just talked about, this is spicy. I try to run 3. I like running 3, it'd be in place of this Tribute, but I noticed that a lot of people keep summoning on me and whatnot, and it's very hard. Like, I don't know what it is. I don't see this in my hand as often when I run 3. When I run 1, I see it all the time. I'm like, okay, let's increase the chances. So I just jumped to 2, and I was like, okay, this works. Targets 1 machine monster on the field. Summon 1 from the deck to the field, and then from there, that monster is destroyed. Depending on what that monster was, it's still destroyed by effect. You get Citadel out. You can get materials for your Ruin Force. You toss your Fortress to the graveyard. Just resummon it by tossing a big monster, because Machina Fortress can be summoned from the graveyard over and over again by pitching something level 8 or higher for machines. Also, a secondary effect, you can target 3 machine monsters in your graveyard, shuffle them back to the deck, and you get to draw 1. Okay, extra deck. I never really went into this. I only went into it once because I messed up, and I summoned on a Nibiru token. I didn't know what to do, but unfortunately I was able to get one thing out. But let's start off right here. This is the only Exceed I really summoned throughout the whole tournament. Not much to say. These pretty much that combo I showed you with the Clasper and the Machina gear frame. When you summon those 2, you could just pretty much Exceed into this and get the recursion effect. Since they're both level 4, you just activate the effect on top of it. Pitch. I would usually pitch on Clasper because there's a reason why I'm running 1. You just recur it nonstop off your gear frame.
Okay.
Gear Gigantic. So send it to the graveyard and just grab from your hand. If you don't want to get that, you can toss him and just thin your deck down by grabbing another one for combo for next turn. Usually, most of the time, you want to grab him though. So you can just hit another Foolish Burial and you can toss another big monster to the graveyard so you can recur it. Good, in theory. I never summoned it once during the regionals just because because this guy was just infinitely better, but it's just good to have. It's just another level 4 summon you can do.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this is a king in its own right. So you get a level 4 out, you summon this baby out. It's just another 25 beat stick. I believe it has the piercing effect as well. Yes. So let's say they're playing that shark deck with the crooked cook and all that. Just pierce over them with it. Dyson Spear, didn't really come up. It was just because if I had the level 9s, I could just do it, but This could be replaced with anything else, in all honesty. Now, we are 1 and 2, just because we could summon off the level 10s. Very awesome. Citadel can be used as a material as well. I really don't need to, because I'd rather use the Citadel effect. But if you want to just burn for game, or like you're running out of time to summon that thing, burn for 2k. You know, the other options right there, just in case, you know, you have to sit on what we call the big 4.
Oh.
We just sit on that defense mode, activate the spec on itself by detaching, and good luck. Other than Kaiju, I don't think there's too much that can really get rid of it. So
Yeah.
The other big boss monster, it's at 4k attack multiple times if you have them for every single material. It increases attack by detaching. It is a big boy. This usually just resolves games. Let's say everything all fails, and let's say you're kind of stuck on this guy and you just attack. We get our big boys out here.
Ooh,
1
the
and
Zeus.
2. I'm only running 2 because if you happen to toss it off with like extravagance in my deck profile, you always have the extra one. I don't think I ever had a moment where I did toss both of these, because I resolved it twice and I was like, oh, I still have the 2 left, amazing, and I have the 1 gear giant, woo, that kind of stuff. But yeah, good card. It's just so like it's not affected by any effect monsters or like any effects on the field. Like this is just to pretty much get something on the field and just get it negated and whatnot. And then you just make an extension after that. I really did not play this at all. In theory, it's good, but low key broken. This thing just recycles nonstop. I was able to go 1 game where I summoned this guy. He is able to pretty much just summon a free level 10 to the field, and let's say you have the extension, that's a free monster right there. You're going into this line after that. So
Okay.
yeah. And if he's in the graveyard, pretty much you can just send 1 card from field, or either field or from your hand, and you can just summon this guy again. Non-stop recursion with them. He is good when it comes up. OP.
Ballista.
You drop their monster to 0, it's game. If everything in here is a beat stick, you summon this thing, it is game over. You run it, you really like stressing on that 5-minute time for round 3. Get 2 monsters out, get this guy out. Usually this is used for the Ancient Gear box combo. I decided against playing that version because knowing me, I'm gonna draw the brick and I don't want to do that. I just had him as extra stuff to toss as well, but there was a game where I summoned Nibiru and I didn't have an answer, and he was sitting on almost a 2,000 token, and I was able to beat over it because of Ancient Gear Ballista. Okay, so basic combos and things like that. These 3 starting in your hand usually is pretty broken for start. Usually it's in combination with 2 other cards. It could be Skill Drain, it could be the Machina Overdrive, something, but you want to see either these 3, or you want to see either him in your hand with this card, or him in your hand with this card. So what would normally happen is you normal summon Gearframe, and from your deck you'll be searching to get Unclasper. Unclasper will activate its effect when it's added to hand. You can summon this to the field. With this effect, you get to pitch 1 machine type to the graveyard. In this case, it'd be either these 2, or if you have the material in hand, you can toss him. In this case, let's go with tossing the Ruined Forge to the graveyard. Then you can either go into Exceed here, again take X, detach, and get 1 of your monsters back to your hand. Something else you can do right here is that you can activate Machina Redeployment from your hand by pitching 1 machine type, or any card in your hand. It could be one of the 5 that you start out with. And you can get up to 2 Machina cards to your hand, or 2 different names depending on what you pitched. Usually, I would go for either another Fortress, or if you need something, if Fortress is already in the graveyard or something, off his effect. I'd probably get a Metal Cruncher so I can just pitch it to summon this guy. Another thing is too, if you already have the materials using this this combo. You can literally unpitch this, like you can toss this to the graveyard. You'd activate effect, you get the one machine card at your end, let's just say it's randomly just this. Then you can activate Ruin Force's effect. Toss these two over, banish it, and he comes out. At this point, if you go into battle phase, it's game over, because if they allow you to go to battle phase with this, it is game over, because you will be able to negate anything with this boy. You can get into attack with this. That's way over 8,000. Like this, well, you're doing over 8,000 damage in that turn. And in that case that you don't, there is an option.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Good follow up. In case you don't kill.
Yeah. Or if they have something in defense mode, easy option.
Pierce right through.
Pierce right through, and then attack for game if they try to negate anything.
All right, well, that was TopDeckHyun's Pacific Rim deck. Again, 60th place out of 360 players. How do you think the deck performed overall?
Way better than I expected. In all honesty, I thought I was going to go extra immediately, because, you know, we should go in with better highs, but I was being more realistic going into it. I was like, okay, I was hyped, but I was in my head, I was thinking like, man, you got some tough competition. I know what meta decks do, and they allow you not to play Yu-Gi-Oh! First game, second game, third game, fourth game, this deck did beautifully. I was able to take off a game every single round if I did not win. And they had no idea why you want to go second. Every single deck wants to go first. This allows you to fight the meta over and over again. It did beautiful. Would I take this back to regionals? Yes, but I will have to make a little bit of change. I need to add, like, I probably run Raigeki instead next time.
Okay.
And I'd probably run maybe a little more kaiju, just because there has been times where you get the kaiju kaiju interrupting and you can't resolve it because, you know, barrier statue's broken and you have to summon a wind monster, stuff like that, little things like that, and just make a little adjustments. But overall, six games out of 9, pretty decent.
Yeah, you going in second is definitely already in itself is a huge surprise to a lot of players that you go up against. Do you think players were expecting the triple skill drain?
Okay, talking about skill drain, I'm abusing it because of the fact that it's at 3 right now. I don't think it should be at 3, personally. These people, no, these players did not expect skill drain. They saw Earth Machines and they probably didn't think, oh, this guy's just trying to beat over me, but don't let me go first. I was able to resolve skill drain, and they would pretty much just hand the game over to me because they said, "Oh, I can't play." So,
do you remember what decks you played respectively, like in each round?
oh man, it's just been a few weeks now, but I have to be honest, I'm not that smart enough to remember back then.
all good.
But I did fight. I fought base. I did fight Wonders. I did fight Live Twins. I did fight some Blackwing Raid Raptor, like King Kali-Yuga deck. I versed a DDD. Now that was not fun pricing that deck. Yeah, and then I versed a Plunder Patrol. Oh my goodness. That deck made me think too much because I had no idea what the heck they did until recently. So each deck, I think the biggest deck that really wrecked me was the DDD.
DDD?
Deck, yeah.
Okay.
And Plunder kind of caught me off caught me off guard, but I was able to take the win just because of time. I felt like he could have made one more play, but I had Torrential ready just in case.
Gotcha.
So, and I was able to recurve, but really nice guy. More than that, no. I think that's about it. I fought like just recursion of decks pretty much at that point. So
Okay.
yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, brother, for the deck profile.
Yeah.
And I mean, a lot of people may not see 60th place to be that great, but honestly, like that's amazing. Like honestly, genuinely, that's amazing. Especially with Machina Kaijus. I don't think anybody expected Machina and Kaiju to be put together for this Pacific Rim kind of deck. So yeah, I mean,
Had to make an homage to 2011. I didn't know what kaijus were, and I came back and it's like, oh, what's this thing that makes you cry? What the heck? Gamma seal? Oh my goodness. So just add the beat sticks plus the stuff that gets rid of the problems, and you have a workable deck, right? So that
True.
was my whole concept.
True. All right. So, got any closing remarks?
Yes. Shout out to all my buddies that won with me. We all suffered and we all got our own personal wins that day. Shout out to my boy Ben for kind of getting me on back in the Machina game. Shout out to Connor as well. You know who you are. He was talking about bringing OG stuff back, and I was like, I'm gonna make a good homage back to the good 2011 days. So, and also shout out to my boy Devin.
Hey.
Always a positive reinforcement in the meta, and always like, I can't read unless it's Korean or hero cards usually, and this guy, he got me on that. So, and I want to also give a shout out to Michael. Thank you for allowing me to borrow some of your cards and let me play this. I did extremely well because of what you let me borrow, and your knowledge really assisted me.
Sounds good. All right, well, if you guys enjoyed this video, if you guys enjoyed his deck profile, his deck, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and to let us know what your thoughts are on the deck in the comments below. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Next.